Welcome back to our channel, soap lovers. We've got a lot to unpack regarding the explosive situation at Alex and Stephanie's apartment, and trust us, the tension is absolutely off the charts. Grab your favorite snack, settle in, and let's get right into the madness that's unfolding on our screens. I am literally sitting here typing furiously because my jaw is still on the floor after watching the latest episode. I mean, we all knew that bringing a loaded gun into that apartment was going to end in absolute disaster, but actually pulling the trigger on Joy and dragging Jada into the middle of this catastrophic mess. I am so overwhelmed with feelings right now, half celebrating the juicy drama and half complaining about how stupid these characters are acting. I need to get this out of my system because this is easily one of the most stressful storylines they've given us in a long time. Are you guys as worked up about this as I am? Because I am losing my mind over here. Okay, wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me back up and break this down because the sheer absurdity of how this went down needs to be addressed. So, Stephanie is fast asleep on her couch. She is heavily traumatized. We all know she has been suffering from severe, untreated PTSD ever since that terrifying kidnapping ordeal with Owen Kent. She wakes up groggy, disoriented, and completely terrified because she hears someone opening her front door. And who is it? Joy Wesley. Joy is just casually walking into the apartment using a spare key that Alex gave her. Alex gave his baby mama a spare key to the apartment he shares with his severely traumatized wife without telling her. I'm sorry, but am I the only one who thinks Alex is the absolute biggest idiot on the planet right now? Because, seriously, let's talk about Alex for a second. I've been watching this show since 2015, and I have seen some incredibly dumb male behavior in Salem, but this takes the cake. You do not just hand over a key to your ex-fling when your current wife is literally jumping at shadows and begging for a gun to feel safe. Alex is now caught completely between his wife and the mother of his child, and he is the one who engineered this entire disaster. Now he is running around desperately trying to convince Joy not to press charges and acting like this was just a tiny one-time mistake. A mistake? A bullet flying through your living room is not a simple oopsie, Alex. It is a near-fatal tragedy that you basically invited through your front door. But honestly, I can't even fully blame Stephanie, and I know some people are loving dragging her online, but personally my heart breaks for her. She has been waving massive neon red flags for weeks. Since Owen held her captive, she has been suffocating under the trauma, and nobody has truly listened to her. Steve tried to teach her firearm safety, but you can't just give a traumatized person a gun and expect them to act rationally when they wake up in a panic. Remember when they tried this kind of storyline with Abigail's PTSD years ago? Yeah, didn't work then either, and the town ignored her until it was almost too late. Salem has a terrible track record with mental health, and watching Stephanie spiral into becoming a danger to herself and others is just devastating. She needs intensive therapy, not a prison cell or a straitjacket in Bayview! And then, right in the middle of this absolute nightmare, we have Jada and Sean. Can we talk about this dynamic for a second? Sean and Jada are finally heating up romantically. They are officially leaving the friend zone, and they literally stumble into a crime scene. They find a bullet in the hallway outside the apartment and storm the place to uncover what happened. Jada immediately goes into cop mode, but the second she pulls Stephanie into another room, you can see the sheer panic in her eyes. Stephanie is an emotional wreck, crying and immediately trying to openly confess to everything she just did. And Jada does something that made me scream at my television. She literally stops her best friend from talking. Jada looks Stephanie dead in the eye and warns her to think very, very carefully about whether she wants to keep talking right now. It was such a powerful, chilling moment. It was a stark reminder that Jada is a sworn police officer, but it was also a massive warning from a best friend. She was basically saying, shut up right now because I have to arrest you if you keep talking. Jada is walking this impossible, razor-thin tightrope between her duty to the badge and her loyalty to her best friend. Their fathers, Steve Johnson, and Marcus Hunter were absolute best friends forever. And that legacy of loyalty is so deep between Stephanie and Jada. But the stakes are impossibly high right now, and I am terrified for both of them. Because let's face facts, Jada's choice on how to handle this could cost her literally everything. If she covers for Stephanie, she loses her career, her badge, and her freedom. And speaking of losing Jada, we have to acknowledge the elephant in the room. Alia Cantu just confirmed on Instagram that she has officially wrapped filming as Jada Hunter. I am so incredibly sad about this because she has brought so much fire to the role over the last 4 years. Yes, I know the Peacock tape to air delay is absolutely insane, and we will still see Jada on our screens until spring 2027. But knowing she's leaving casts this huge dark shadow over this storyline. Is this the beginning of the end for Jada? Is she going to go down for police corruption to save Stephanie? I am dreading it, but I also kind of can't look away. Now, let's pivot to Joy Wesley, because I have so many conflicting thoughts about her right now. On one hand, I get it. I really do. She walked into an apartment and was almost murdered. She is completely valid in being absolutely furious. She made the chilling point that if she had been holding baby Kelsey when she walked through that door, the baby could have been killed. Just imagine that. So, Joy has officially banned Stephanie from being anywhere near Kelsey. And as much as I hate what this is doing to Alex and Stephanie's marriage, I kind of have to agree with Joy here. You cannot have a baby around someone who is recklessly firing weapons in the living room. But on the other hand, Joy is absolutely using this as the ultimate leverage to drive a permanent wedge between Alex and Stephanie, and she is playing it for all it's worth. And the most heartbreaking part of all this, Stephanie actually agrees with Joy. She isn't fighting the ban. She is so horrified by her own actions, so consumed by the guilt of almost taking an innocent life, that she told Alex that Joy is right. Stephanie knows she is a danger right now. She is waiting in pure agony to see what the police investigation yields and whether Joy will officially press attempted murder charges. Jada is investigating her own best friend. Alex is losing his mind trying to play peacemaker, and Stephanie's life as she knows it is completely over. I have no idea how they are going to write themselves out of this corner, but this collision of trauma, friendship, and legal consequences is top-tier soap opera drama, and I am here for every single messy minute of it.